From Lotho Minor, this is the Rebel Scum Podcast, the tale of two galactic scoundrels talking into microphones about Star Wars. On today's show, is Kylo Ren in possession of Obi-Wan's lightsaber? Is that how he knew about Rey? A new chosen one, the real reason Ben Solo turned dark. Plus, Never Tell Me the Odds, Holo News, books and comics, kind of, and an all-new Top 5. Now, from Maul's recently vacant lair, here are Brock and James.
So, have you ever had Jawa juice?
No.
I was reading recently that it's not actually made of Jawas. It's just called Jawa juice.
Is it what Jawa's?
I believe it's mentioned in the prequels. I think it's at, isn't it? It's at Dax's Diner.
Yeah.
Another order of Jawa juice, Dax.
Yeah. It's just called Jawa juice, and I think it's made of like distilled bantha or something like that.
Sounds delicious. You know what? Have you ever had it?
No.
Well, in 2019, when we go to Star Wars Land,
Yeah.
Disney, we will definitely be having some Jawa juice.
Sweet.
All right, I'm James. This is
Brock.
and this is the Rebel Scum Podcast coming to you for our 34th week.
Wow.
In a row. We have never taken a break because we're exhausted individuals who don't have full-time jobs. Wait a minute.
I got 2 checks.
I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but we don't really have a set date when we do this because it's basically when we find time. But we want to thank you so much for tuning in on a dial on YouTube, watching
Typing
us.
in the URL.
This past week, we hit 1,500 subscribers. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us.
That was awesome.
You keep coming back, and we keep coming to you, and we want to talk about what you want to hear, and we want to talk about Star Wars.
And thanks for all the people that are equating us to other big Star Wars shows. That's awesome as well. We got a long way to go, but
I think we're very much the commentators from Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah,
I think that's who we are.
We should do that for Halloween, and no one will get it.
No, we will. We just wear one giant sweater. We don't even try. Oh, and there goes our set. Everyone, our budget is that Rebels?
Yeah.
Can you pick it up actually? Today we're going to be talking about this. Look at that. That's pretty sweet though. This is Rebels season 3 is coming to an end on Saturday. And it came to an end.
Our monitor.
It came to an end on our set already. We will be talking about that with spoilers, so stay tuned. We have a lot to say on this. I know a lot of people have. I actually listened to the Rebel Force Radio, Star Wars Rebels Declassified the other day. I think it was yesterday actually, and they did a whole hour on it. It was great. But we're gonna start things off. We're not gonna get to that right away because we have other things to discuss. Because as a lot of people have mentioned that, the Knights of Ren is something that we know nothing about. And Pablo Hidalgo has been talking about Knights of Ren, and the guy that you see die with that weird bull head is actually called clan leader or something.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's clan leader, so people are speculating, is he a Knight of Ren? Is he not a Knight of Ren? Then there's also that image where Kylo has a second lightsaber, and it looks like he has Luke's lightsaber on his hilt down below. So, that's a possibility, but why would he have Luke's lightsaber? Are you telling me that Luke is not strong enough to defeat, to keep his own lightsaber, and Kylo would just be able to take it from him? Are you telling me that maybe Luke is the one that gave Ben his lightsaber, and that was the one that he used when he was in Jedi training, perhaps?
And it's the green lightsaber.
The green lightsaber,
right.
Yes. So we're going to get into a lot of things, but we're going to start with this topic because I had this idea, and it's just an idea. We're just throwing it out there. You guys come up, tell me I'm wrong, or tell me that you think it's a good idea or a terrible idea, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a conversation we're having. Mm-hmm. But we recently found out on the Mark Hamill's show that the prop for Luke's and Ben's lightsabers were both the exact same, colored differently. So what is it possible that, and we know that Luke has been looking for Jedi artifacts for 30 years, so at 20-something years, because we know that from the comics and the books.
Right.
That he's, since Return of the Jedi, he has been looking for Jedi artifacts.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Obi-Wan Kenobi is killed by Darth Vader. Darth Vader keeps Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. We know that the Vader's mask has been found. And we know that Kylo's in possession of it. Is it possible that perhaps Kylo Ren would be able to get his hands on, perhaps through Luke or Snoke or somebody, get his hands on Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber?
That is, you know what? I never thought of that. I never asked the question, what happened to Obi-Wan's lightsaber? Because they left the Death Star after he was vanquished by Vader, and that was that. And also, that really opens my eyes to, like, yes, we know more or less that Luke has been collecting Jedi artifacts, so that would almost explain right off the bat how Kylo would have Vader's helmet, perhaps one of those that's an artifact. I don't know why. Like, again, it doesn't make a ton of sense, because I would assume you have the funeral pyre. What is that? Cremate someone. You would want the whole thing just burned down, but what do I know?
Well, I think the mask was Acolytes of the Beyond, but that's how they got Vader's mask, was this group. Right. But nobody knows about it. So,
but in all respect, I don't know anything about the Acolytes besides what you've told me. So,
and also,
it doesn't exist.
And also, if Luke is looking for artifacts, he still could have got it from the Acolytes of the Beyond for all we know at this point.
And there could be another Vader helmet. Like, I'm sure he had several capes. Why can't he have several helmets?
That's true.
It was his casual Sunday casual helmet.
Yeah, it's blue,
but yeah, that's I like that idea quite a bit. Actually, I recently read, and I don't know if this is anything, but someone on a Star Wars Instagram said, like, kind of not really referring to the fact that the props, that the both lightsabers are basically the same thing, just painted differently. But they said that I don't know if it was Legends or canon. Luke went back to Tatooine to Ben's house and found a schematic on how to build a lightsaber.
Well, that's in Shadows of the Empire.
No, I know. So I don't know. I can't remember if it's Legends.
I don't know.
But then the way they wrote it is like, that's why the lightsabers look the same, because it was a schematic for his specific style of lightsaber. I'm like, oh, cool.
Well, if you think about it, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, and it works. So
who knows? They have. I don't think they've decided on that storyline yet. So I think that's a good idea, and we'll let that.
Yeah, but what was the original question? Artifacts, right?
Yeah, artifacts, and could Kylo Ren have Obi-Wan's lightsaber?
He could. That'd be very interesting.
And to expand on this a little bit more, we know that now that Force visions are a thing in the Star Wars universe, that they just are. So if Rey has a connection with Anakin's lightsaber and he sees a Force vision of herself as a child and Kylo Ren, Knights of Ren, doing their thing and all that, is it possible that when Kylo Ren comes into possession of Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber, that he has a Force vision, which we speak about a little while ago?
Right.
Is it possible for him to have this Force vision? And is it possible that he sees infant Rey, or adult Rey perhaps, in this Force vision, and this is why he recognizes this girl, which is why he says, "What girl? It is you," which is not in the movie, but in every other form of The Force Awakens, including the Lego video game for children, which... whatever.
Is it for children?
Yeah, actually. I mean, I struggle with it, but I struggle at everything. So, but you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's a way for him to know who she was, that if he has a reverse Force vision, essentially.
I think it's better. I think it's possible. The easy out is, well, I mean, we assume he wants Luke's lightsaber, or sorry, well, yeah, Luke's lightsaber, because it was once Anakin's lightsaber. So he's sort of collecting Vader things because he loves Vader. But then if he in fact has Obi-Wan's lightsaber, it could fit like... Yeah, I think it seems like the time that Ben and Luke spend together in between, you know, I guess Bloodline and Force Awakens is like Indiana Jones, where they're just looking for artifacts.
Yeah.
So maybe he just collects lightsabers. That's another option of why he's so intent on getting that lightsaber. Maybe that's a little lame because it's good for a book, but for like a movie, you're like, Why do I care about this?
I think maybe Kylo Ren just wants Anakin's lightsaber because it's an heirloom he finds. That's his grandfather's lightsaber.
But perhaps because now he's gone to the dark side, maybe he. I definitely think there's going to be a lot. Like we've already said, like there's going to be talk about artifacts because it's like, I think we said last episode, it's like Luke doesn't know anything about the Force. I mean, he knows what Yoda and Obi-Wan, but he knows nothing of the Jedi Council that existed prior, like 40 years prior or whatever, or no, a lot less than that, 30 years, 20 or whatever. So maybe Ben, even though he doesn't agree with whatever Luke wants to do, is still like, yeah, I got to collect this and this and this and this. I don't know. But then he has Snoke, who apparently has been around forever. So I don't know.
I think Snoke is. To be honest, I think Snoke, Rey, Luke is separate. Like Snoke is a very separate thing from all of that. Mm-hmm. Now, I could be completely wrong. I mean, at one point I thought Snoke and Rey might be connected at some point. They still could be. I don't know, but I think honestly, Snoke is. I've now convinced myself that Snoke is just dark side matter. That's all he is. He's dark side trying to. And on Unleashed on Friday, I talked with Rob about Snoke and why he might need Kylo Ren. And I think perhaps Snoke is trying to manifest himself into a being, and he's literally just something else.
What if, and this is just something I just thought of, because this is what we do here. We think things up. If we go with our premise of they are collecting artifacts, which I think is pretty valid, that's going to be something. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the major story plot line, but like, yeah. I mean, what does it say? How do they say in the movie that Luke, he went off looking for something and never
the First Jedi
exactly. So he went off to do that. So like artifacts could be easily in the movies. What if him and Ben go somewhere and they start finding things, and then Snoke finds out what they're doing, and they're about to find something that could unravel everything. So his quick solution is to corrupt Ben Solo into Kylo Ren, so it slows down. Or maybe Snoke is also trying to find something and is slowing down Luke and Ben's progress by taking Ben out of the fold and sending out Kylo to find things.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. Again, like based almost on nothing. Like,
well, we have no idea what The Last Jedi is about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think I like the first idea where they're about to find something and Snoke says, "Whoa, this is too close to this. Yeah, I need to course correct now, and this is the best way to course correct. Take Ben, make up this thing called the Knights of Ren. You are now in charge of the Knights of Ren, and we have to destroy Luke otherwise, because Luke will eventually figure this out.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to destroy him. That's an idea.
Because like maybe it's something like Yoda knew, and like we've said it before, Yoda's kind of like the guy that he's hit a new like level of enlightenment where it's like, I can't tell you everything because it will, all information. It's like, it's sort of a religious understanding. It's like once you become like attuned with the universe, like there's certain things that you just have to let go. Mm-hmm. So if you can't let go of your humanly desires, you can't have enlightenment because you're like, oh, well, I can't, like, it's almost like they can't exist at the same time. So maybe like Yoda knew about some gray thing that would, I don't know, destroy the dark side, which we know wouldn't really be the case. I don't know. Maybe some kind of like vast power that either side could yield. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe something like that. That'd be sweet. I'm starting to worry that not worry. I would totally embrace it. I feel like this is going to be it's called Last Jedi. Very Jedi driven. Like it's just going to be at the Force, which I'm all for, but I also, like we all know, I love Poe Dameron. He's not a Jedi.
Or is he?
Oh! I don't want my X-Wing time taken out of that movie. Like, I gotta have some X-Wings. So.
Well, the rumor is that trailer we're going to get at Star Wars Celebration will be showing some pretty cool dogfights in space. I mean, this is a rumor. Sweet. Who the heck knows? So let's go on. Let's continue with this artifact thing, because I don't know if you remember, but a couple months ago, or last month, a couple months ago, I think, I watched the VHS copies of the original trilogy.
Right.
And the tracking was phenomenal. But I watched
the sound tracking?
But
no, the video tracking.
This was the first time almost ever where when I watched these, I brought this up on the podcast way back. It was one of the first times that I watched them where the prequels affected how I viewed these movies. Where when Darth Vader spoke, I could associate him with Hayden Christensen. Like to me, like I understood the performance of Hayden Christensen in the prequels, and it matched up to Vader. And I know people are like, but he's whiny, blah, blah, blah. But if you listen to the lines of dialogue that he speaks in one versus the other, they're both written very similarly.
Right, okay.
That's what I mean. So I was like, oh, this is the thing. And then I came to this conclusion where I realized that the prequels are more about how the Jedi Order has corrupted itself. We was speaking about this way back then. So and you can go back and watch that one, I think.
I will. Oh, you mean the listeners. Or
whatever.
But
that's where I was like, oh, these prequels are actually kind of about, because I'm watching it and I'm like, well, Obi-Wan's not telling Luke this, Yoda's not telling Luke this, but the prequels are about this, and they know that the Jedi Order was way more than just picking up rocks. You know what I mean? Like we never find anything out. So I was like, okay, so they're hiding something about the Jedi from Luke, essentially, is what I've convinced myself. That it's not George Lucas retconning things, it's actually pre-conning.
It was the plan.
It was the plan all along.
Yeah.
But it was not. But it
it
worked its way out that way from what I was able to convince myself.
Yeah.
And maybe because I am a fan of the prequels, we don't know. But this was something that I was.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, I was actually feeling this though, and I wasn't forcing it on me. It was just these things. I'm like, oh, this is happening. And now I'm reading about these artifacts, and something that came out earlier today or yesterday. That Luke has been finding these artifacts like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But apparently he's discovered that these artifacts, when he senses the Force in them, that they've lost their way. And he's discovering that the Jedi had lost their way. Mm-hmm. And so he needs to go to the First Jedi temple to get to the root of it all and find out what Jedi actually is. And apparently he has lost touch with Obi-Wan and Yoda. And so he's gone on this pilgrimage to figure out what Jedi is. And so this Last Jedi could be that was a rebuild of it.
Right, okay. I thought you meant like he was after what he's discovered, he's disenfranchised from like what he thought.
I think he is, but he still believes in the Jedi. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, we all believe in the Jedi after A New Hope, right? And I mean, the original trilogy, we all are like, "Oh, Jedi are the best." But then when you watch the prequels and see what they actually are, you're like, "Well, they're just a group."
Yeah, and they're flawed, just as like anyone else.
Exactly. And so I think he wants to go to this First Jedi temple and find out the root of it all and how to and what went wrong that created, and maybe the dark side was created from the Jedi. Maybe not just not the light side. Maybe Jedi are the ones that created the dark side. That's just an idea. It's probably not accurate. But you know what I mean? Like, because Jedi, once you start putting rules on something, rules are meant to be broken. And the minute you put a rule on something, somebody's going to break that rule.
Right.
And somebody's always going to want more power. And then the Jedi Order just kind of snowballed into this effect. And now Luke is like, okay, something happened. We're doing something wrong. Yeah. What are we doing wrong? And he has to go and figure it out.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And think of the music that John Williams will score over top. It'll be beautiful. It will be.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Like, it's... Man, I can't wait for this movie to come out.
I told someone we should rename our podcast Can't Wait for December.
Can't hardly wait. Oh, we both like the movie Can't Hardly Wait.
And the song by The Replacements.
Wow, so many things to think about. I don't know. Where are we going?
To the First Jedi Temple.
First Jedi Temple, that's
right. But I don't know.
And sorry, the question, well, one of the big things you said was... did the Jedi unleash the dark side? I like that idea.
Yeah, that was a spur of the moment thought.
Of course, because it's. I mean, you can counter it with the episodes. Is it a series of episodes in Clone Wars where they go to that planet? It's like, hi, I'm the dark side. Hi, I'm the light side, and this is our father. He's gray, but we don't call it gray.
But I mean,
or what? I'm sure I'll be corrected on
those
what I
are
just
Mortis
said.
Episodes. Mortis episodes.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this is just a thought that I had while I'm thinking. Yeah, you could say that, but also you could go back and say, well, the dark side came from the light side. So, I mean, you could.
I mean, they're exploring that in Dr. Aphra, which I sort of explained last week, where, like, yeah, I mean, the history of the Jedis is definitely, they like the idea of that there's flaws along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the prequels alone. The whole Sifo-Dyas thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, how did we not know this? Or, you know,
I want that to be explored.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see that.
I think that was one of the things. Even though I said he's a worse character, Count Dooku's storyline, which we don't really get to see.
Was he your number one worst character?
No, that was Palpatine. He was like number 5, or no, number 4, I think. And you lost
side Akbar. I was with Andrew the other day recording something.
Yeah,
and he told me I think it was his cousin watched, and he said his cousin's favorite part of that episode was when you guys were doing our top 5 worst, and I just interrupted and go, I'm saying Jackson and Yaddle. You guys are coming up with real characters. I love all the characters of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, you can't have you can't have those movies with all of those characters. They're there for a reason. Yeah, like even
Yaddle's not really there for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
No, Yaddle's not.
But I like the idea. I would. I mean, Jedis make mistakes. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that they don't try to stop Chancellor Valorum, Chancellor Palpatine.
That's my number 1. No, but they won't acknowledge their mistakes almost.
Yeah, they're proud. Mm-hmm. And it's like the whole, the whole like Jedis can't get married because you can't be in love with someone without being irrational or something like that, which is kind of like, what if you marry a Jedi?
But unless you're, Kiadi Mundi has 5 wives.
Oh, yeah. They allowed that so he could keep his species alive. Oh, Yoda didn't need to keep any species alive. Well,
there's Yaddle.
Yeah. But she passed away. Man. I want a young
Yaddle is a clone
movie.
of Yoda.
A clone of Yoda? Clone of Yoda Coda. Yeah. There's so much.
And the what I really love though is we're gonna get comments. You're wrong. It's about this.
You're wrong.
No, the best part is none of us are right and none of us are wrong.
And Finn is force sensitive.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that.
And Rey is a Mary Jo. That's not even right.
No, apparently the male version of Mary Sue is a Gary Sue. No, a Gary Lou.
Gary Lou who?
Gary Lou.
But yeah, whatever. Hey.
You just sparked so many arguments down below.
And you can comment, and that's why we love you guys.
Yeah, no, keep the comments coming. Anything you want us to talk about, let us know. Like I said, we're grateful that you're here.
Yeah,
we love talking Star Wars, and we love your opinion of Star Wars as well. Because at this point in time, we don't know what The Last Jedi is about as much as you know.
You know what's exciting, though? In less than a month, we might have something to talk about. I mean, I don't think the trailer's going to give us answers.
It's not going to give us nothing.
But we're going to be like,
there are lightsabers. Just so you guys know, Brock, myself, Aaron, Andrew, possibly Rob McDonald, we will all be at Star Wars Celebration Orlando, taking it all in. I've got my Rey 4-day pass. You don't have anything.
I have to go pick
Aaron just got her passes yesterday in the mail.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
They're really
Paul
cool.
Shipper designed them all.
Nice.
They look great. I want them all. I want the poster. I'm hoping that I can get a poster. I
got the email yesterday, and I think it's been announced for a while, but I noticed it. Or just a new graphics on it. It's like the guy that played Nien Nubs there. I don't know why I was super psyched about that. I'm like, ooh.
And they just announced Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes, that was that email. But if you go lower,
yeah,
that'd be cool. I mean, I wish they didn't kill off her character. Whatever.
No, they needed to. You can't have they can't be around. The Inquisitors can't be around much longer than that. Like they had to go. Just like someone else had to go. And if you have not seen Rebels this week, skip to when it says Rebels finale on the bottom, or Holo News, whatever you want.
Holo News.
Because Rebels, they did it. They finally did it.
Under 2 moons, under 2 suns. 2 suns?
Twin suns.
Twin suns.
They did it. They finally did it.
Oh, twin suns.
They showed Chopper in an A-Wing.
Why is that important?
It's not.
I was going to say, I like that part. But
no, The episode happened.
Yeah.
It was built up since, last
Christmas?
season, definitely. We were all like, hey, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, they're going to fight.
Yeah,
Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah.
I have a video where I thought Ezra was going to interrupt and kill Maul. And as the episode went, I was like, ooh, this could possibly happen. But it did not happen.
No.
What did happen for me was I do not think Ezra Bridger will be making a live-action appearance in one of the saga films, at least. This episode kind of, to me, what he did not do in this episode, which was anything really, it kind of, I was just like, okay, he is a creation for Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. He'll probably live on in like another something. Yeah. But I don't think live action, I don't think he's going to be Benicio del Toro anymore. Because somebody commented actually recently, and they said, why would they bring Ezra into Last Jedi when his story is not finished on Rebels? Because then you just all of a sudden kind of ruin Rebels.
Right.
So
I'm gonna pause here and let Jedi Master Bender say his diatribe on why, which is cool, whatever. But
this was just how I felt watching this episode.
That didn't hit me that much in the episode, but I can agree. Like, I don't think Ezra Bridger will jump out into other things. If it does, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it. It just to when I watched it, I
agree,
was like,
I mean, yeah, we saw Chopper and we saw the Phantom and the Ghost, and we heard Generalson do it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And those are all fine.
That could be all we get of Rebels in the thing. Great, whatever.
And I would be okay with that. I mean, I love Rebels. I would love to see more. But if that's what it is, that's what it is. I have no issue one way or another.
But I was kind of bummed out at the end of this episode. Like,
you wanted Obi-Wan to lose.
Well, totally. Imagine that. Imagine he got just wiped out and like everything we've known. Somebody was like some like disgruntled animator was like, screw this, and just completely screwed up canon. No, it was good, but we saw the preview of Obi-Wan getting into his pose and then facing against Maul, and we're like, oh god. And kudos to Dave Filoni, the Rebels crew. They know how to get you to watch. Like, just that. And I was like, yep, and I mean, I'm going to watch it anyway, but it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. I had to watch it a second time again just to see if I missed something, but like I like the opening with Maul talking to nobody. And then the whole Ezra getting to Tatooine, getting to Obi-Wan, I was like, okay, what's next? But nothing really happened besides he gets to Obi-Wan. Then when Obi-Wan is there, I'm like, yes. All of that was great. The fight was very lackluster.
But did it need to be more?
No.
I think any more is fan service.
And I know, because you know what? Clone Wars, I have watched it. I haven't watched it extensively. I wish I had. Because there is a thing between Maul and Obi-Wan in that. So it is kind of weird if you forget that. Like, it's like, oh, they haven't seen each other since Phantom. They're like, why are you pissed at him? But, again.
Well, he cut him in half. So even if you didn't watch the Clone Wars, you kind of got
but he killed his master, so, relax.
Yeah, but if you got cut in half, wouldn't you be mad at the guy that cut you in half?
I guess. I don't know. He's got cool robot legs. Oh, did you see Side Akbar? You saw the Smuggler's Bounty of the Rebels box. Have you seen what's in it? Well, I mean,
I saw Rex was in it. I haven't seen.
Yeah, that was the second pop. But have you actually seen pictures of the full Maul? Because it actually has robot legs, which you don't see in the ads leading up to it.
I wanted that so bad, and I didn't get it.
Really cool. Anyways. So yeah, like that's one thing that hit me. I was like, well, why are they so pissed at each other? I was like, oh yeah, Clone Wars. And I know people are like, that was kind of like the best part of Clone Wars. So sorry, just I don't know. I feel like the Darth Maul stuff just went over my head when I was doing it. I also have this bad habit of watching things while I'm playing video games, so my attention is in two directions. Anyways, I will say I like the shortness of their duel is fine because it's like he has figured out that Anakin's offspring is on Tatooine, or the new chosen one is there. So I took it as it was fast and like fast and dirty or whatever you want to describe it, because Obi-Wan's like, no, we need to be done. Like, no, you can't. No, there's no compromise here. You're done. Like, I am hiding him because this kid will get killed if Vader finds out. But yeah, I loved it. It was good. I liked that. And then they went back. I thought this was going to be a 2-parter, but I guess not. That's the next episode, right?
I was talking to Andrew about this, and I think it would have benefited from being a 2-parter, and not necessarily even for the Maul Obi-Wan stuff, but just like Maul's so weak at the beginning, and it's supposed to be, because he's been wandering the desert and this and that. But it would have been nice to get a little bit more lead up to Maul being weakened.
Like he's almost barely been in this season.
Yeah, and it's just you have that droid episode the week before, which established nothing. Which was fun. It was a fun episode.
We learned about space fish.
But you have that. We could have had a little bit more time with Maul being weakened and searching.
Yeah.
Just for the emotional the ending, the emotion of the ending, which was so perfect when Obi-Wan cradles him. Yeah. And he goes, "Is he the chosen one?" He is. It was great, but I think it would have had more impact.
And then he says, he'll avenge us.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me more impact. Show me Maul getting weakened. Almost, like show me a little bit more Maul on his journey to Obi-Wan. Don't just have him fly off in November and then reappear in March. That was my big thing. Was I was like, wow, this could have been so much more impactful had maybe the Sabine stuff happened earlier and then you push this stuff later, or vice versa. Even if you want to have this as a mid-season, almost, I mean, they could have really focused on Maul first half of the season. Forget about him second half. Then you focus on your Mandalore and your Thrawns in the second half.
It's just, and also the big issue is that Ezra goes off,
and no one cares.
Well, no one cares, but Hera's like, we got to do something like this. We're going to Lothar.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the finale.
We need you. Like this is like you can't bail, and it's fine, but I know I was just like. Does Ezra have any link to Obi-Wan besides knowing who he is?
And then the hollow. That's it.
That's it. I mean, he actually sort of met Yoda.
Yeah.
So it's it just seems like, I'm gonna bail. Or I mean, the Maul, maybe the Maul going to go to kill Obi-Wan is the whole modus operandi.
Do you think this hurts an Obi-Wan standalone film?
Maybe. I don't know. They could do a lot with Obi-Wan, but it doesn't. No, because it barely reveals anything about what Obi-Wan has been doing, besides the fact that he has a do-back.
Do you like the idea though that maybe I love the do-back, but do you like the idea that maybe Obi-Wan has just been looking over Luke for all these years?
Yeah,
nothing has happened. Darth Maul's the first thing to show up. He's like, "Well, you're done."
That's the premise of the Obi-Wan journals and the Star Wars comic. It's I just live here now.
Do you think the combination of those and this is now what do you what's an Obi-Wan movie now? How much action is he going to see in these 19 years? And do we need him to have that much action? Why can't he just be that old hermit who hasn't done anything and just kind of every once in a while peeked his head and been like, he's good. He's good. Can I talk to him? And Owen Lars is like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Although I like to think now, though, that Owen Lars and Obi-Wan don't actually hate each other like they did in Legends. I like this idea that they both have this understanding and Uncle Owen has to pretend that Ben is a crazy old wizard. And he kind of has to pretend to tell Luke and so they actually have a respect for each other. That's what I like to think. And that's what I'm going to stick with because I'm a positive individual. Go Vader. I can't wait to get Rogue One, Side Akbar. I'm going to get it on Friday in digital copy. Screw it!
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, and then I'm going to buy the Blu-ray as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have 2 digital copies and a Blu-ray.
Boom.
And I'm going to watch it anywhere I want. iPad, Google Play, Blu-ray.
It better be on Google Play.
It'll be on everything.
Nice.
I'm going to even get an ultraviolet. I don't care. It's going to be on everything. I am never going to, and it's going to be on Netflix, and I'm never going to be without it because I'm just going to watch that Vader scene over and over and over.
Yeah, I was looking at Google Play at buying the original trilogy, or just all of them, and they're pretty pricey. And I'm like, no, but I want to be able to watch it whenever I can.
Side Akbar, Thanksgiving, the American version, Google Play had a sale 50% off any movie bundle. and our friend Ivan bought it for 50. All 4 of them for I think $50 or $60.
It's not bad.
So he told me the day after it happened.
Yeah, I had one of those, but it was on the TV seasons. Anyways, it's the very ending of Rebels where we see Obi-Wan come over sand dune and he looks out and we see the Lars farm.
Yep.
And of course we hear Emperor Luke,
Which was great.
My problem, and this is me being way too quibbly. We see a silhouette of what we assume is Luke running back towards.
I don't think we assume. I think unless there was another kid on that farm.
Yeah, that's true. But it seemed odd because the pace he was running at and the size of him, even though it was far away in silhouette, you can't really tell. It looked like he was 8 or 9, which doesn't make sense because Leia's what, like 17,
He would have
18?
to be like 16, 17 in that picture. No? Because he's 19 in A New Hope?
Yeah.
And this is 2 years before Rogue One, which is 15 seconds before.
Which would work. And I coincidentally, Mark Hamill has been on Twitter dropping cool pictures and stuff. Can you see it first? Hold on. Let me. Whatever. I mean,
auto dim.
There we go. That apparently is one of the first pictures of him on like his first day of shooting New Hope. As you can't see, there's a cool Jawas group in the back. But you look at this picture. Yeah, I could take that as like 17 or 18 or 19 as he actually is.
Well, Well, are they?
But I can't see someone like this running like that. You know what I mean?
The proportion was off.
Yeah. Anyways, still a good ending to it. I mean, they could have not put a silhouette in and I'd be fine. But it's very cool like that. It's always very interesting to see because you meet Obi-Wan and you think like he's not part of the story. I mean, we learn that he's been there for a while, but like it's very interesting to see like he's watching, he's waiting.
Yeah, he was waiting. That's what
he's like the actor behind the curtain waiting for his call to come in. Like, here I am. So, good episode, I think.
Yeah,
but when you get a promo of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan are gonna fight, you're like, the hype becomes like heightened. So you're like, ooh. But
I think Maul, he needed to die because, and I say this, like he died in the Phantom Menace. To many people, he died in the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
They brought him back in the Clone Wars, which is great, but it's still extended universe. It's not Legends extended. Right. It's canon extended, but it's still extended. The films are the films, and everything else is an extension of the films. And so he came back, and that's fine. But he can't show up in another live action film because he's dead in live action. If you bring him back in another live action, you have to explain his spider legs, which they already did. So now you have to re-explain to the people who've never seen it before or know about it, and then we have to sit through it again. Is that what you want to do? So I think. His journey ended. It was great. Sam Witwer was at the premiere of this episode. They had a screening at cool. Star Wars, and they interviewed him.
Star Wars?
I don't know where it was. It was StarWars.com is where I read this. And he was like, it was great to portray it. He goes, it's Ray Park, and I can't remember the English actor's name who did the voice.
Oh, Peter's son of Fitwick.
Yeah, he's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Have you seen, is it Spy, where he's in Spy?
I think so,
Spy.
yeah.
He's hilarious in Spy. And he's great in Couples Retreat, which is a phenomenal film.
I think he's also one of the Nova Corps in
yes, he is.
Galaxy.
But he's in Couples Retreat with Jango Fett.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Anyway, but he said, Maul is their character. It's like he just had fun playing him. And he's glad that after Clone Wars, they wanted to do more and they didn't get to. So he's glad they got to do it now. And it's great. And I'm happy that they finished it off. It was, I'm not going to say anticlimactic. Because it wasn't. It was just. I just think one episode in front with Maul, just to bring you there.
Yeah.
It just even if that last one in November happened right last week, like just that one, just to help the impact of that a little bit more. But it is what it is. It's a 22 episode season, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately, say what you want. It's for kids.
True.
Look, we can talk. We're 30s. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's for kids. It's a kids show on Disney XD. If it was for adults, it would be on Netflix and it would be called rebellion killers or something.
Yeah, it's a weird line you have to tread because it's like I think in every episode there's some kind of like allusion to something else or like like there's probably a Macquarie thing in like every episode this season.
Well, they know people like us are watching it.
Yeah.
But their base has to be for for kids, so we could get little things, but we're never going to get the over the top things.
Right.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
that's what it is. I'm not complaining.
I had no preconceived notions that Maul was going to survive the episodes.
Oh God, if he did, that'd be terrible. Can you imagine Maul survives through the original trilogy and he's Snoke?
What? He shaved. He not shave. He like. What is it when grinds down the horns, and then he got a Michael Jackson operation where his skin became white.
I think Jas in Aftermath rips a horn off. She has a fake one too. She's a Zabrak as well.
Okay.
And I think she rips one off, and she uses it as like brass knuckle type, like
that's
Wolverine claws. She's pretty cool. That's that. That's our Rebels recap, which leads us into our next topic, which is the Rebels finale. You could tell by that really small font that I have there. Rebels finale is next week. It's an hour long. It's 2 episodes, but they're going to air them back to back as an hour. Thrawn. This is it. His master plan is coming. It's coming to fruition. Lothal is going to burn to the ground. Brock, how excited are you for this?
I'm pretty psyched because now we're like, this is like the answer of was Thrawn worth it for this series?
Well, we haven't never tell me the odds with Thrawn, so I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
I feel like this is not the end of Thrawn, but this is like finally we get to see him unleashed.
Yeah, I hope this is not the end of Thrawn.
No.
Because it'll be a letdown. And the Rebels have to lose this fight.
Yes.
They can't win. Otherwise, that opening crawl from A New Hope is a complete lie.
Yeah.
Unless they kind of BS it in a way where it's like, well, we didn't really win, but we didn't really lose. We're kind of like even.
What is the title of this? Because it's got the title of this episode.
Oh,
They've been talking about it. Like, I don't
know. It's like Zero Dawn.
Yeah, that's
Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I think it's
cool.
Zero Dawn. Yeah, I hope.
They haven't released any
just some pictures
promotions, right? Cool. I mean, same kind of side Akbar, but on the same topic. Celebration released their Funko exclusives, and one of them is Chopper in black.
Yeah, I like that Chopper.
That's probably the one I'll get. Well, if we get in. So we need to get into a lottery to buy these things, right? Or is it just like...
No, I think these
you
ones
just get ahead of time.
Yeah. For me, I want the Darth Maul Rebels Smuggler's Bounty. I wish I just... The problem is we're in Canada and it costs $900 to get these things.
That's true.
Plus shipping. But I didn't get it. I wish I did. I'm going to try to hunt that down. That's what I want more than anything.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And I want the Qui-Gon, because I want a Qui-Gon pop, and there's only 2 of them now.
Yeah, that one.
This one's all blue. I'd rather the other one, to be honest. But Qui-Gon's Qui-Gon, I'll take what I could get.
But yeah, it's exciting. So kind of lackluster, I felt. But they're cool anyway. I mean, it's just, like you can't please everyone. I mean, the Rey on a speeder's cool.
Yeah, that one was cool. Qui-Gon was different. But then there's another Han Solo, because there's like 300 Han Solos. It is cool looking, but...
And this is not surprising to me that it's a Han Solo and just a new action pose, because they've done that with... the Batman stuff. They're re-releasing stuff they had with Batman, but he's in like... But my thought when I saw that was if they then come out with a Chewbacca to recreate like this picture. Boom. Because Han's sort of standing on his side. I think he's holding it.
But he's wearing Empire Strike Back clothes in his pop figure though.
I thought he was wearing a vest.
No,
but it'd be kind of cool to have. Well, it doesn't have to be this, but it'd be cool. If,
you're just taking the set apart.
Yes, I am. We're moving. I think it would be cool to get that Han. If then there's a Chewbacca in like same kind of stance, but you can put him back to back. That'd be kind of neat. But again, probably not the fact they're just like, hey, let's just.
I really wanted a Revenge of the Sith Anakin.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want. Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Funko, you listening? Please.
Dengar, where is he? Huh? Where is he? Everybody else is out but Dengar. Anyways.
Never tell me the odds.
It's time
to move on to the odds because we need to talk about this one. Brock, what are the odds? of Thrawn kicking the bucket on this Saturday's episode of Rebels?
20%. Because I feel like they haven't done anything with him, and it was such a big deal. Like, he's on the poster. He's like front row center, more or less. Well, I mean, look at this. This was the promotional. I mean, this is when you download it on Google Play. This is what you see. But like, Darth Maul is like basically the biggest head on this thing, and he's barely in the season. So maybe this.
But his arc is big on the season, though.
That's true. So, but like Thrawn, I feel hasn't done stuff, and he's very cool.
I would argue, even though Maul's been in less episodes than Thrawn, his impact on the show has been greater than Thrawn's this season.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I'm going 0.01%. If we're both wrong and he dies, we're gonna play this clip next week. But he has not been impactful. Like, you know, if I don't know who Thrawn is, I don't care about Thrawn. Like he's no better than Callus at this point to me.
Yeah, like Callus is more interesting this season.
Yeah, actually. Like if you look at it, you're like, well, why is he so great compared to Callus? Or
because you could say, well, he's a tripping block for Callus, but then you could put anybody in that. You could put Tarkin. You could put that other old admiral in the white, whatever,
Krennic, even
Krennic.
You could put anybody. Crazy. Like Thrawn has not done anything to me. And this book is coming out, so now you're going to kill him off, and I'm going to read a book about how
so
powerful he was.
Are you? What is your odds on it? Did you say
0.01?
Okay, 0.1.
And by the way, the Thrawn book, if you go to Celebration or Barnes and Noble before Celebration, you get a collector's pin, only one per person, not per book. So
when does the book come out, or is it
April 11th? April 11th. So I'm gonna get the Cabot version, the ebook, and then I'll probably buy the hardcover while we're at Celebration, so I can get the pin and spend. It's $35, I believe.
Have they shown what the pin looks like?
Yeah, it's those Celebration pins, but it's Thrawn. It looks pretty.
Cool.
It's pretty sweet, and there's only a certain amount of them. And it's awesome.
Right.
And I cannot wait. All right, next odd, because we both think Thrawn is going to survive that one. The odds of Kanan dying, let's say in this episode. You know, he hasn't had much of a presence this season.
I'm going to go full Brock, though, because it's just like based on what, like it's sort of. Yeah, you're right. Like he has.
Oh, I guess not. He can go gray.
Good point. I don't know. I feel like just out of love to Freddie Prinze Jr., at least should be able to live to the very end.
I agree. I'm going to go full Brock as well because I think he has to go. I think it's a good time for him to go. But I think because you just made him blind, and he hasn't really done anything with that. You know, like there's been some moments like that's cool. I want to see more Kanan blind.
Yeah.
Like I think like Thrawn, there's more to do with that aspect, and to Freddie Prinze Jr., let him go to the end of the series,
come on.
or at least halfway next season.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be ideal, but at the same time, I could totally see them taking him out because they have, like we said, they have to lose this battle.
Yeah,
and if to lose it, you lose your greatest warrior.
Yeah,
right, and that would leave Ezra next season, which could theoretically be the final season, and I think we're going to find out at Celebration that next season might be the last season. Then the new cartoon that they've been sprinkling in little details about. I think we're going to get something big on that on the Saturday. April 15th is when I think we're going to find out.
Sweet.
But that's what I think. I think it's a good time for Kanan to go, but respect to Freddie Prinze Jr., respect to the character having blindness. Let him go for another, I'd say December, mid-season finale.
If you stick with the premise of what you said, this is for kids, why would they get rid of a big character like that when they could make a new version of him for the next season? Because they put him in new clothes, new action figure. Boom.
Well, then he comes back as a Force Ghost.
Oh, Force Ghost Kanan.
Could you imagine? That'd be going too far, I think.
Why?
I mean, he's never been trained how to become a Force Ghost.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to sell blue toys, Force Ghost. All right, final odd. The odds of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which, by the way, his voice, Admiral Raddus' voice, Stephen Stanton, fantastic voice on Saturday's episode of Rebels.
Yeah, I liked it too.
It was great.
Yeah.
Ezra was in the wrong place. The odds of Obi-Wan Kenobi returning to Rebels. He also does AP5, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is my favorite droid.
AP5.
I love
so what is the odds that Obi-Wan will come back in Rebels?
On Rebels, yeah. I'm going to go...
Like this season or next season?
Any season. 0%. You see that? That's a 0. That's a big fat 0. He's done his time. You can't overdo Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would hurt his chances of a standalone film even more.
Yeah.
This, I think he's a hermit. He said his piece. He has his revenge with Darth Maul.
I'll go with 0 as well. I want it to happen, but you're right. I don't know.
Oh, it'd be great, but it doesn't make it. Oh, you know what? He could return in that hollow form from the past again.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. But, like...
Yeah. I'm going 0. On old Obi-Wan, 0.
Because there has to be separation from him in the Rebel Alliance, because it's like...
Yeah, because he gets mentioned.
It, like, well, you fought with my father. So.
Although Bail knows, but also Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma knows of the Jedi that's friends with Bail Organa.
No, I know, but like I feel like you can't just all of a sudden like put him in like a rebel ship or a rebel.
No,
base.
you can't do that, but you can have Mon Mothma talk to him because now you can.
Sure.
But I think that's going too far too. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't touch that. Anyway, that's the odds for this week. Let's move on to Brock's favorite part of the show. The Hollow News.
The part where I talk.
Live from Coruscant. That's it.
So, pretty big news story or sort of theme is Rogue One coming out next week, April 4th. God, I can't believe it's already April. So there's been a lot of talk because I believe Gareth Edwards and a lot of, was it also Gary Whitta?
He went to a coffee shop and they spelled Gareth Scarif, so they came up with the name of Scarif that way. That's true. That's actually,
awesome.
That's actually a true story.
They were being interviewed, obviously, for the release of this DVD, Blu-ray, digital download. And they're talking about, you know, as we all know, they did a lot of reshoots, and we saw a lot of stuff in trailers that never actually happened, or were the old stuff. Apparently, we will never see... Which story was this one again? Because there's a lot of stuff happening with this. So I'll just cover it all. What's the next one?
The Vader scene.
Okay. Apparently, we'll never actually see the proper ending to Rogue One, or the original ending to Rogue One.
Which I'm fine with.
Because at first when they were writing, Gary Whitta said this, that they wanted it to be successful, that at least like Jyn and the character that would inevitably become Cassian would escape Scarif with the Death Star plans. And as we all know, we've seen the shot of them running on the beach in Scarif, amongst the AT-CTs. That never happened in the movie, and they're carrying the Stardust file. Mm-hmm. So they said like they wrote it that way, but then to get there was way too complex, and they thought that's what Disney would want, and then Disney said, "Hey, you can do whatever you like," or like that. We don't want them to survive because it's like,
yeah, and it makes sense.
Which makes sense, but whatever. So that's we'll never see that, and I think a lot of the scenes, apparently, like a lot of the stuff that was shot, we probably won't see a ton of, because they're sort of saying, I don't know really the rationale, but they're just basically saying like all the cool things that you think we'll see, we won't see as much. There will be stuff, but
I think we've seen the ending, but we haven't seen the A to B. It's been merged into one, because they say that the transmission area where they're supposed to transmit the plans was across the beach. So instead of having them run across the beach, they're just like, it's in the same tower. And they just condensed it, which they do that all the time in movies. They condense things all the time in movies.
Yeah.
Things happen. It's editing. I mean, that's just what it is.
And then also in Rogue One, Vader was supposed to take out a very important character. Who do you say would that be? Why, Director Krennic, of course. Krennic was apparently supposed to survive the, battle with Jyn.
And Cass,
that it wasn't supposed to end like the way it did. He was supposed to be like trapped in something, but he survives it, and some stormtroopers dig him out. And then as he's getting not taken away, or he gets brought to somewhere to recuperate, and Vader comes in and like just force chokes it out of him.
Which I said on one of these podcasts.
Yeah,
I said Krennic's going to die, and Vader's going to force choke him.
Yeah.
Which
would have worked.
No, they heard the podcast and they changed it.
Oh.
They're like, that guy nailed it.
They get it. So that would have been kind of cool. I mean, again, like, Rogue One is a pretty good movie, so I think that what they did turned out great. I mean, it's sad that we don't get to see those characters again, but whatever.
It's sad, but it's not sad, because you're telling a story, and at least you're not forcing something down my throat. That's how I feel. Boom.
This is pretty exciting because this is actual Last Jedi news. We will see familiar planets in Last Jedi, specifically Tatooine, Endor, and Mustafar. Mustafar, right?
Mustafar.
And that's all we know. We know that these planets will be in Last Jedi, which is very cool because they're not exactly all near each other, I think. So it's like, wow, we're going on a trip in this. Of course, we could send different characters.
Which, side Akbar,
Yeah.
could Mustafar, Vader's castle, Mustafar, be where Obi-Wan's lightsaber is?
Yeah, I would argue that there wasn't mention of Mustafar in the article besides the fact that that's where we're going to go. But yeah, we could easily... that could be a Kylo Ren thread of some sort. Like, he goes there. And we saw it in Rogue One. They're just putting it in there like, boom. And like, okay. And that's why we don't get a title, because we'll get the title in Last Jedi. But that's very exciting as, Luke and Obi-Wan spent a lot of time on Tatooine. Anakin is from Tatooine, so Kylo Ren or Rey could be going there in search of leftover stuff from them. Or, Darth Vader was cremated on Endor. So, again, our artifact thing, there's a lot of situations where that...
There was, at one point, a rumor... Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
There was that rumor, though, in that Knights of Ren Force Vision scene when the first time we saw that in a trailer, remember people were like, are those dead Ewoks all on the ground?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I never thought it was.
Pumped, though.
But if Endor's in this, there's a possibility.
There's going to be Ewoks again. Like... There's a very good chance.
I would love that, but I don't.
And more importantly, we could bring back Teak. Just saying. Bring back Teak. Hashtag bring back Teak. That's where we is.
That whole bring back Teak thing was the the Star Wars show just slowly bringing back Teak into our lives to foreshadow that he's going to show up.
Like you said, Phasma is Sindel.
It's on. This is.
After years of being left on a planet with no parents and walking bears that barely talk except for Wicked in the second movie. It's going to happen, and we're going to bring back Teak. Oh, Teak is Snoke. Anyways, Laura Dern won't tell her children who she is in Star Wars. So that's something. Awesome. I mean, I always respect...
Do you think it's because she's somebody of grave importance that we already know?
Oh, probably. But also her kids are like 5 and 12. They're not reputably known to keep secrets. And she probably learned the lesson from... who played... Diego Luna. He told his son, and apparently his son was blabbing it to girls at a pool.
Did I ever tell you? Big starlighter.
So I respect when actors understand, like, don't tell stuff. Don't tell anybody. Like, don't say anything. Say nothing. I know you could say that about everybody, but this is Star Wars. Like, you can't be like, oh, she's a real... You can't say anything to an extent.
Because we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
at great lengths, and it'll be. We'll talk about it for an hour and a half on the podcast, and then when we watch the movie, it's 13 seconds.
Yeah, and then she's in another movie that was a big deal. She was saying like, it's like what?
Jurassic Park.
No, yeah, Jurassic Park.
The third one.
No, there's another movie, something sci-fi related. I can't remember what it is. A Marvel movie? I don't know. I read the article, I promise. But yeah, so Laura Dern will not tell anyone who she is.
Do you think Bruce Dern knows?
Probably.
I hope so.
But he's in...
Bruce Dern's awesome.
Nebraska.
He's in The Burbs. Remember The Burbs? The Burbs is fantastic. Tom Hanks.
So yeah, that's all the news.
Boop, 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 boop.
Get Rogue One next week.
Friday, digital copy.
This Friday?
Yep.
But next Tuesday, right?
I think so, yeah. I don't care. I'm going to have it on digital copy. I'm going to be at work Friday, though. I'm going to call you. Guess what I'm watching? All right, books and comics. I don't have one. Brock doesn't have one.
Yay!
Next week, we're going to come at you with a review of Darth Maul issue number 2, which came out on Wednesday.
Yep.
We will have that for you next week. We weren't able to get there this week because life sometimes gets in the way.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to go through the planet core to get to our top 5. There's always a bigger fish, Brock.
Today's
Today's top 5 is top 5 actors we would like to see play droids in a Star Wars movie. Brock, who's your number 5?
This is going to be really annoying to you, but Alan Tudyk.
He's already a droid.
I know, but he could be again.
Ugh.
He's amazing.
Yeah, but he's already a droid.
I know, but I want to see it again.
That's the worst.
There's no rules to this one.
Amy Poehler.
Ah, interesting.
I think she has like that droid personality that she could pull off. See, I was gonna say, Amy Poehler. No, Amy Poehler. You should be a droid. Brock, who's your
Funny
number
enough,
4?
number 4 for me is Aziz Ansari. Because
that would actually.
It would be in the same vein of sort of like Greg Proops being a character. It's like he's like, oh, you know that voice. It's like I don't know, he would be an important robot, but he'd be like, he's got that high pitched tone in his stand up that it could work.
Mine is Kevin Smith.
He has been a stormtrooper though.
He's been a stormtrooper, but he was a voice. Okay, anyway, I think Kevin Smith because he's got that. He could be like dry, like.
Yeah.
Funny kind of stormtrooper. I think that would work. My number 3 is Ving Rhames. Because Ving Rhames is awesome. He's just awesome. I was so disappointed when he was only in the very end of that awesome Mission Impossible movie. But the movie was so awesome that I kind of forgave it.
Yeah.
But then he showed up in the next one. I was like, Ving Rhames is the best.
My number 3. Are we on number 3? You did number 4, right?
That was number 3, yeah.
My number 3, because I was like, well, I always like it when they're British. Oh, God, what's his name?
Judi Dench.
You go first. I'll think of it.
I already did number 3.
Okay, who's... Have you seen... oh, God.
I don't know.
Who is the guy in Bridget Jones' Diary that's not Hugh Grant?
Colin Firth?
Colin Firth. There we go. Thank you. Sorry. I guess I should write stuff down. Yeah, he's just cool. He's good.
I like Colin Firth. I'd be down for that.
Making him assassin droid. That'd be sweet.
My number 2 is Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. Interesting.
Canadian. Torontonian. We're born in the same hospital.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
We're forever connected.
That was your number 3 or number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2, not well known, but he worked on BB-8, Ben Schwartz.
I thought you were going to say Daryl Lewis.
Daryl Lewis. No. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think he's a funny guy, and he knows how to do BB-8 now.
Pretty awesome droid.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I don't know. I can't. I think half the time I'm just envisioning protocol droid.
Yeah, that's all I envisioned too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess most of the astromech droids don't really talk. So
yeah. Who's your number 1?
Number 1 will be. I don't know. Let me think about it. Continue.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, interesting.
That'd be a good one.
Can I just say Jordan Peele?
You could say Jordan. Oh my God! Together? Can you imagine?
Oh yeah,
that'd be fantastic. That's a spin-off film.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
And they're called Keanu or something like that.
It's Droid
Anu. My number 1 will not be Jordan Peele, though Get Out is an excellent film. Michael Fassbender, because that guy just is awesome.
But he's a droid and alien.
So?
Prometheus. All right, fine.
A cyborg. No, not a cyborg.
Like a Lobot.
A Lobot. Yeah. So.
It's
sort of like this list is just like what actors do you like to
no, but not playing characters or playing robots. It's a different kind of personality from a robot to an actor. And mostly I just wanted to say that I want to see Michael Keegan Key as a robot.
He's going to be in the next Predator, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's Predator.
That movie just got more awesome. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah, it is Predator because we were like, oh, maybe he'll be in New York as like he's like a young version of Danny Glover.
He's like, I'm too young for this shit.
Sweet.
That's our 34th episode. So Brock, Kylo Ren has Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. Luke is searching for artifacts, and he's trying to figure out what went wrong with the Jedi Order. We just told you what The Last Jedi is all about. You don't have to spend your hard-earned money to watch it anymore.
Don't do it.
Just tell people, hey, we didn't. I hope The Last Jedi is not about any of this.
Yeah.
We go in there, we're like,
we figured it all out. We're geniuses.
We were wrong about everything except for Sindel.
Don't even say that.
So Phasma's going to have a spear in this one.
Cool.
But no, wait. I'm going somewhere.
Wait, hold on.
First of all, and there's this a rumored scene where the stormtroopers run away and they're like, it's the Jedi, and they run, and then we see a blue glow against Phasma's helmet. Is there a possibility of Captain Phasma and Rey or Luke having a sword fight?
Oh, 100%. Somebody's gonna fight her because it's not gonna be like she's not gonna be like deflecting.
It could be Finn.
Like
Finn was seen
bolts.
doing sword.
Okay, yeah, I can accept
training.
that because like a spear, until we know what the capability of the spear is, like against a lightsaber, like just cut it in half.
Well,
but yeah, like Finn fighting Phasma makes the most sense.
Is it going to be just a regular sword or a lightsaber Finn has?
Oh, I would almost argue it might be the exact same spear that she has. Finn shouldn't have a lightsaber. We have enough now. We have enough Jedi.
We don't really, though. We have Luke and kind of Rey.
Yeah,
I like the idea that maybe they find another Jedi on Tatooine.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Made out of 100% megachlorians. Yep.
Anyway, guys, that's our show. It's been a lot of fun. We love talking Star Wars. We love that you love. Well, we don't know if you love. We love your ideas of Star Wars. We're glad that you tune us in once a week.
Yeah.
To check us out. Tomorrow's Unleashed. You can Rob and I were talking about Kylo Ren, like we said. Saturday, Vote on No Confidence is Thrawn versus Prince Shizor. Thrawn's episode on Rebels comes out, so that's going to go first thing in the morning, I believe, on Saturday. And it's a lot of fun. Brock.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
I always have a great time.
I had a midi-chlorian time.
Ooh.
May the force of others be with you.
Always. Hashtag Big Back Treat.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.